As much as I love when my customers pay us quickly, I also make sure that we pay our bills by their due dates. At Stealthy Wood, it's our priority to keep a good relationship with our suppliers. To easily process the payments for all vendor bills recorded in my database, I simply select all of them, click on the payment button, and then let Odoo work its magic. If you're in a country that works with checks, such as the US, Odoo generates them all in one click. As for European countries, Odoo generates a .xml file that follows the SEPA credit transfer requirements, so we can upload it to our bank interface online and have all the payments processed instantly. So let's see right now how it works with our two databases, first with checks, and then we're going to have a look at SEPA credit transfers. All right, so here I am on my database for my company, Stealthy Wood, Inc. So the Stealthy Wood that's located in the US. So let's go to the accounting module, configuration, settings, and we're going to scroll down to the supplier payment section right here, and we want to be sure that we have checks activated. So this option is already enabled for some databases depending on their physical localization. Since this is a US database, this option is enabled by default, so we're good to go there. So let's go ahead and create a couple of vendor bills. So we're going to go to Vendors, Bills, and Create. Okay, so first we're going to choose our vendor. So my first one's Happy Furniture. Okay, I'm going to add a vendor reference. So I'm going to say invoice 2019 0013. Okay, and then we can auto-complete with a purchase order or an old bill, which is what I'm going to do because it just saves me some time. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this purchase order here. Okay, I'm going to add a due date. So I'm going to say that it's due tomorrow. I'm going to save and validate. Then let's go ahead and create a second one. We're going to choose our vendor, Yggdrasil Flowers. Again, I'm going to select, I'm just going to auto-complete this. I'm going to select a purchase order, but I don't want to forget the vendor reference. So we want to be sure that we write this payment reference or vendor reference correctly, the one that the supplier wrote on their invoice, because we want everyone to know exactly what is being paid for, and we want to avoid any possible confusion. Okay, so let's go ahead and add that reference. So let's say 2019 02. Okay, and then we're going to add the due date as well for tomorrow, and then save and validate. All right, now we're going to go to our accounting overview. And under vendor bills, we're going to see that we have two bills to pay. So let's go ahead and check these out. All right, so we have our two bills here. Now, if we have multiple vendor bills, an easy way to see what needs to be paid and when is to group by due date and day. All right, so it's just a really convenient tool. In this case, I only have two vendor bills, so it's not really necessary. But let's go ahead and select both of these. And then we're going to go to Action and Register Payment. And I'm going to choose Checks here, and I want to be sure that we have the correct payment journal selected. Then I'm going to validate. Okay, then we'll go back to our overview. And under bank, I'm going to see that I have two checks to print. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to select the two checks, go to Action, Print Checks. Okay, it's going to ask me what the next check number is. So this depends on what your next check number is. Let's go ahead and click on Print. Okay, it's going to generate a PDF for me. So let's go ahead and open this. And then we have all of this information we need right here, including the reference that I added manually. All right, so that's really convenient, super cool. Okay, once you have it printed, of course, you can close this box, and we'll see that we have no more checks to print. All right, so it's really convenient. Now let's go ahead and jump to our Belgian database. So let's go over here. We're also going to go to Accounting, Configuration, Settings, and here we're also going to scroll down to the supplier payment section, but we want to be sure we have SEPA credit transfer activated here. So as it was for checks, this option is also enabled for some databases depending on their physical localization. Since this is a Belgian database, this option is enabled by default. All right, so we're good to go. So let's go ahead and create a couple of vendor bills. So we're going to go again to Vendors, Bills, and Create. All right, so I'm going to choose my first vendor, Wood Corner. I want to be sure that their bank account is added here, which it is. I'm going to add a vendor reference. So I'm going to say invoice 2019, 356. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and manually add the products. So I'm not going to autocomplete this time. Okay, we'll say storage box, 5 of them. All right, then we're going to save and validate. Now let's go ahead and create a second one. Okay, this will be for a ready mat. Okay, product, large cabinet. Okay, vendor reference. So for the vendor reference, I'm going to say 01, 2019, 09. Okay, and I want to be sure that I have the correct bank account selected and also that the currency is in euros as well. Okay, we need to be sure of both of these things for the SEPA credit transfer. So let's go ahead and save and validate. All right, and then we can go to our overview and we're going to see that we have these two bills to pay. So let's go ahead and select these. Again, we're going to register the payment. So you see there are a lot of similarities between the two flows. Okay, this time we're going to choose SEPA credit transfer. Also make sure that we have chosen the correct payment journal and validate. Okay, then we're going to go back to our overview, and under bank, we're going to see that we have 2 payments to send via SEPA. Okay, so let's go ahead and select this button. Select these 2 options, or these 2 bills, go to action. And then we're going to confirm the payment, okay? Or I'm sorry, we're going to create a batch payment. So let's go ahead and click this right now. And then we're going to validate. Okay, and then we're going to be able to save a .xml file. So this file can be uploaded to your banking interface to make all the payments at once. So it's super easy and convenient. All right, I'm going to close this. Once we go back, we'll see that we have no more SEPA credit transfers to send, so we're good to go. All right, we have no more bills to pay. So both of these flows are quite intuitive, quite easy. And that's all for this video. Thank you for watching.